is Nick.
I'm Nick.
He's been a good friend of mine for years, and he's always down to help with any of my builds, from routine maintenance to restoring rust buckets. He's always willing to help without much complaint.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So when he and his dad, Russ, told me that they had purchased an MR2 for a track car, I was ecstatic to help build it. So here's the plan. Source some top tier parts, blow up the engine. Oh, what is that?
Oh no!
Wait, blow up the engine? That's not part of the plan. Oh well, replace that blown up engine with a newer engine, install that new engine, boost it, tune it, track it, let's go. Before we get back to the first drives and big smiles, we want to rewind for a second and talk about engine management.
All right, so now it is time to deal with engine management, which is a little tricky, I gotta be honest. Because of the year range that we're dealing with here, we do not have the ability to reflash the ECU like you do on like a 2006 or newer vehicle, and all of the piggyback options are subpar. You don't get any sort of engine protection, and you have very limited tuning abilities. So really, unfortunately, only option is standalone ECU. There are many options out there, but I personally think that the ECU Master EMU Black is going to be your best bet. I have heard good things also about Haltech and the Link ECUs as well, but this is definitely a fan favorite on the MR2 sites, and so that's what we went with here. Plus, they offer through Monkey Wrench Racing and Turbo Kits a plug-and-play harness, which is fantastic because I can tell you, I wouldn't want to do this myself. So that's what we have
Seems
here.
Complicated. I don't think I could do it.
So this is technically the Monkey Wrench kit, where they send you your ECU as well as this nifty little wiring harness. So essentially, you take all of the connectors that normally go into your ECU and you feed it into this block, and then this then goes into your stock ECU. So it's kind of like a pass-through for what you normally would go into your ECU, and then you also have some kind of bypasses where it goes into the EMU Black. So this goes into the standalone, this goes into your stock, and so you're actually running both of them side by side. It's not technically like a piggyback because the standalone is doing all of the engine management on its own, but your stock ECU is still gonna handle certain things like air conditioning, dash cluster, a whole bunch of other things that we'll get into later. Also, they give you a wiring harness specifically for your Lambda wideband sensor input, and then that matches perfectly with the ECU Master Bosch wideband kit. So that comes not only with your wideband sensor, but then also I think it's about a 10-foot, 6-foot oxygen sensor cable that matches perfectly with this guy. So you don't have to do any sort of custom wiring. You're gonna have your wideband already hooked up.
It's really nice that they do that because it kind of takes all the thinking out of it and all the, like whenever I think of wires, I get anxiety and like just like even basic stuff. And you know, for people who don't know, Nick is actually pretty well versed in a lot of electrical stuff, but this is really next level. And I was really nervous, but you know, to have a kit like this, it takes a lot of that out.
Yeah. Well, it also, you know, troubleshooting this sort of setup can be really challenging. When you go to start it up for the first time and it doesn't start, it could literally be hundreds of different things. So just kind of having a good baseline to start with is just so helpful.
Yeah, absolutely.
The actual plug and play kit came with the wiring harness, your ECU, and then the tube and T for your map sensor, which is built into the ECU. And then the wideband sensor you do have to purchase separately, but that is really nice. And then I got two extra features. So one is a boost control solenoid. This is a 3-way, and this came from Monkey Wrench Racing. You technically, with this kit, don't need a boost control solenoid because it has a wastegate built in that I believe it's set for about 8 PSI, maybe a little less, but I wanted some additional control over the boost, and since we have a standalone ECU, might as well go for it. And then the last thing was the Bluetooth CAN extension for this. So we actually didn't buy any sort of external gauges for this setup. We want to go with either like an Android tablet or some other like Pi Dash that we can use for all of our data logging and just gauges, digital cluster gauges. So we're going to use the Bluetooth to be able to do that.
Awesome. This looks awesome.
Yep.
Nick, you're back from your trip. This thing looks crazy. So, okay, so Nick just rolled up and he's got a laptop.
Yep.
Have you ever tuned anything before?
Nope.
That's all right. Nick is very smart, and this is really interesting. You want to not show the embarrassing graph? No, people. This is all very impressive.
They can see it. You know what? This is from Street Tuning, and I could probably smooth it out a lot, but we really need to end up on a dyno and actually see what we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like I'm making too many guesses. I know you can do some of this stuff on the street, but there's too many variables, especially with the meth injection. Mm-hmm. I'm taking wild guesses.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
But this is really exciting. I mean, he was just kind of showing me, what were you in? Were you in fuel? No, you're in fuel right now?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you were showing me the logs, which are pretty interesting.
The logs, making sure that we're keeping a very close eye on our knock sensor. I actually have the knock sensor tied into the check engine light. So it lights up whenever it's detecting knock or it's above that threshold. And so, yeah, I'm keeping a really close eye on it.
That's
interesting. I have a laptop next to me, and I keep looking over at the air-fuel ratio and just making sure things are good.
That's fantastic. This is so cool.
It is pretty sweet.
All right. Should we go for a drive?
Absolutely.
All right.
This is going to be ridiculous.
There you go.
This is such a... Oh, you know what? I could just do this, really.
Oh, that's what's most important.
Manifold in danger. Shut up. Nick has never seen Fast and Furious, so he doesn't get that reference. But we'll fix him. I'm telling, dude, we should do a reaction video. That's what we should do. Comment if you guys want to see that. I think that would be a lot of fun. This sounds good. I'm gonna try and film us from inside because there's not much room in here, but I also don't want to wash the audio out with just wind. So this is exciting.
I don't know where you should record the audio.
I have no idea. It'll be enough. Oh, look at this sunset.
I know, that's beautiful.
It's a beautiful sunset. It was probably all blurry. We don't do autofocus around here. This sounds great.
Yeah.
I really enjoy this.
It's got some noise. The fuel cut is pretty aggressive. I think we're leaving a lot of power on the table with my current tune, which makes sense. I'm being very conservative, conservative with it.
Yeah, I mean, what you gotta expect it. We're just getting it to function and drive and have some fun. This thing's been under the knife for a while, so it's good to be driving it around, you know?
Yeah,
this is very encouraging.
I don't want to break it.
So let's do this thing.
You did not pick a good road for
That's so great. That feels awesome.
A lot better.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Holy cow. I love that. My gosh! This thing is great! What does butt dyno tell you? I feel we're at 2...
I don't think we're at 2. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
What do you think? Wait, what was it making before? 118? Or 100?
It should have been making 130 to 140.
I say 200.
Alright, yeah,
I say
pretty
200.
close to 200.
Yeah. Holy crap, dude, that's amazing. I do weird stuff with my lips.
Yeah, the fuel cut is very sensitive. It's not set right.
Wow, this is cool, man. All right. All right, we got a left-hand turn, and then we'll give it some more beans. And I get to compare reaction time and lag. I can tell you what it feels like compared to the Z.
Non-existent.
There's not much. Which
Wow, this is so confusing.
What is? Oh,
Because
like what's up and down?
reversed. I'm like, ah.
You're doing great.
Thanks.
I almost lost the hat. That's why I put it on backwards like a schnob. There's a couple of bumps, but I'm gonna test my knowledge on where they are because I'm pretty sure I can avoid them.
See, you hear like the sound? It like
The
like
popping?
pops. I don't know why it does that.
I don't know either.
I should ask my tuner.
Yeah, did a crap job. I get a refund. Yeah, there's like no lag. It's like nothing. That's great. That's awesome. I'm a big fan. Big fan. Oh, see, it almost cut there. Or maybe it's just idle. For me, when you put the clutch in, at least before, on the Z, you put the clutch in after a pull,
Yeah.
and that little bit of access meth
Right.
would throw everything off. And the ECU would be like, what's happening? We're about to explode.
Yep.
Dude, you did a good job.
Man, what a difference.
Yeah, it's a lot more powerful.
Oh my gosh. So when you get
Yeah, about 3,000.
oh gosh,
It makes some noises.
That's-
And you can go all the way up to 65.
that's shocking. I
Yeah,
just
I think-
never expected.
It's
Oh my
I
goodness.
have to assume it's probably 210, 220.
That's pretty amazing. I'm gonna say that right into the microphone. That's pretty amazing. Just had to get that. Oh,
Yeah, it makes a
man.
little whoosh.
Yep.
The blow-off valve.
Wow. Now, are you reading anything on this?
Yeah,
while
I'm
we're doing
checking air-fuel ratio and stuff like that.
this? Sure seems nice. I mean, everything.
It seems, yeah, it runs pretty nicely. The idle is a little rough sometimes, especially when it's cold. And it kind of hunts a little bit. I don't know what sounds are normal. Just
Right.
because like it's kind of like popping and
Yeah.
crackling, and like I don't know. I honestly don't know if that's normal, or if it's just because it's essentially a straight exhaust.
I kind of lost it though. It lost all its power.
Really?
Yeah.
Where?
It was when I did that. When it did all the crackling.
Yeah, sure.
It just bogged
But
down.
it must have been all the way up.
I don't know. It just bogged down right there. It didn't
Yeah,
seem
it sounded
right.
like the actual the rev limit. I thought, but it didn't seem high enough for
Oh
that.
yeah, I didn't think so either.
Huh. Maybe the rev limit has got set back down a little bit.
Right there. Now right there, it's just and it
You
doesn't
hit.
want
You
to keep.
went. You got all the way to 7,000.
Oh,
Yeah. That's
Okay.
it. That's all you
I
got.
can't believe I go that. Get there that quick.
Exactly. That's what it is. You're just not used to it.
Wow.
Yeah. No, it's not a high revving engine, unfortunately.
Okay.
I
You just
know,
gotta
I
shift
know.
quicker. That's all.
It'd be nice to go all the way up to 8 or 9, but I could probably probably raise it probably 200 or 300 RPM, but right now I think it's set to 68. And yeah, that's about all you get. But as long as you anticipate it and give it a little gas ahead of time, you really can start around 25, and I still have a decent amount of power.
So there I switched at 6.
Yeah. That's quick.
What'd you think, Russ?
Oh my gosh.
Amazing.
Quick. We can get 0 to 60 in 5 seconds.
5 seconds. Heck yeah.
Easy.
When you hit the rev
Anytime I
limiter.
hit, you get to 7,000 so quick.
Yeah,
And
it's
as
up
soon
there.
as you hit the limiter, it's pop, 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 pop.
Yeah, I love it. It's so much fun.
It makes some noise.
That's sick. There's no such thing as leaking anything. This thing's just sweating horsepower now. That's all it is.
Might just be the time we change cover.
Probably.
Tensioner.
Tensioner.